Welcome to Melrose Unitarian Universalist Church. Our service today is called Flower Communion. Good morning. I'm not sure this is working yet. Let's try it again. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, Kathy. As we say, I am the Reverend Dr. Suzanne Intriligator. My pronouns are she and hers, and I am so glad to be here today with you on this beautiful, beautiful morning, celebrating with you the completion of my 4th year as your minister. I only mention it because somebody pointed out this week, I think it was Tara, that even though I've been here for 4 years, this is only the 2nd time that I have been here for exchanging flowers in person, because we had 2 flower communions that were Zoom only. And it is so great not to be Zoom only today. No, not dissing you people joining us on Zoom. You're very welcome to be here, but it is so lovely to be together in person as well. I am happy to be here. Just a few more announcements this morning. To continue our flower theme today, Liz Meyer has stepped forward with this pretty amazing oracle deck. It's flower themed, and she offers that in coffee hour, you can come forward and choose one of these cards, and she will help you interpret it. Maybe it will give you a message about the summer that is waiting before you. So that should be fun. Next Sunday, I want to remind you that we have our annual church picnic. It will be noon to 2 p.m. at Pine Banks Park. And the church will be providing sandwiches and cake thanks to our volunteer Jennifer Fanning, who is organizing the whole thing. Jennifer could use a couple more people to help her serve. So if you can do that, please see Jennifer. Jennifer, would you wave to people just so they can find you? There she is. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's see. Also, it would be great if everyone could bring their own containers, plates, forks, knives, spoons, utensils, so that we don't have to wash anything and then we don't have to throw anything away either. Thank you so much. Then, after that, on Sundays throughout the whole summer, we will be gathering for fun activities on Sunday morning with everything from, watercolor painting to silly games to walks in nature. And that will happen at the usual church time on Sunday morning. We will be publishing a weekly newsletter all summer, so look there for information about what's coming up. What else? A quick thank you to our ushers today, Jenny Wengrovius and Jennifer Fanning. Another thank you to our coffee hour helpers, Mary Delahanty, David Bliss, and Beth Cockrell. Thank you all for your help today. And I want to have one more thank you, one more shout out to Michelle DeVoe. Thank you, Michelle. She hung up these beautiful artworks that she helped our RE class to make last month. And they are so perfect for today. They're hand-painted fabric panels depicting the beauty and diversity of nature. The perfect decor for Flower Communion Sunday. So thank you, Michelle, for that. And today we have 2 more quick announcements from members of the congregation. First, Jeannie Harris is going to come up. She's a member of our RE committee, and she's going to tell us about the RE reset that happens. And then right after her, we'll hear from Jenny Wengrovius, our incoming congregation president. Jeannie, if you could come right up to the podium to the lectern. Thank you. Oh, there's the steps to it.
Yes. Very helpful. Wow, I'm tall now. Good morning. I'm Jeannie Harris, and I'm currently a member of the amazing RE committee. I'm happy to announce that the RE committee, with the Committee on Ministry, will facilitate a congregational conversation about the future of RE at MUUC. There are a lot of letters there. The first session is open to all and will be hybrid. Join us here in the sanctuary or via Zoom following worship today at 12 after coffee hour. And parents that are currently raising youth, pre-K through high school, will be invited to the Zoom-only session tomorrow evening. That's Monday, June 13th. Parents meeting. Check your email. Katie's going to be sending out an email. And finally, the RE committee was encouraged by the evident passion during our recent annual meeting. Building upon that enthusiasm, we look forward to an RE reset that reinvigorates the program. We hope to see you and thank you for your continued support. Thank you.
I don't think I'll do the stool, that might be. All right. Whew. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jenny Wingrovius. I am currently the VP of the congregation, and I'm here to talk about Dan. Daniel Griscom. I don't know your middle name, or I'd say it. Thorn. Pardon? Thorn. Thorn? No. Really? Oh my God, that's amazing. Daniel Thorn Griscom. What I have to say about Dan and his tenure here is pretty simple. Our church would not be not only surviving but thriving right now if it wasn't for Dan. Last August, while summer was winding down for most of us, Dan was here in the building setting up the sanctuary for long-term hybrid worship. And let me be clear that that process was not only installing cameras and working on the sound, it was hours and hours of research and planning. We had planned to hire a company, a group of people, to do what Dan did by himself. And when that didn't pan out, Dan stepped up and enabled this church to be the place that it is today, which is accessible to so many people and has enabled us to move through this period of profound unrest together. The pandemic has been something unprecedented, and many churches are struggling to recover from its effects, but not MUUC. Many places lost members and had to cut their budget, but not MUUC. Dan's leadership was a calm arc in a wildly chaotic sea, and saying thank you doesn't feel like enough. When thinking about a gift, I was at a loss because what I really wanted to gift him was a sense of accomplishment and contentment and deep, deep, nourishing rest. I couldn't forcibly deactivate his cell phone for a few weeks, so I suggested that we get him a chair. And more specifically, an Adirondack chair, because to this Colorado woman, the Adirondack chair is a powerful symbol of relaxation and peace. I wanted to put a plaque on the chair with some ridiculous text like, "The Relaxation Station," or "Silly Shirts Only." These are really what I thought about. But that didn't seem broad enough. So today during coffee hour, we have paints outside so the congregation can put their handprints on the chair. For those that don't want to paint their hands, there are also gold markers for you to sign your name or write little notes. And then I'll be doing the wonderful epoxying this week. And then Dan will have his very relaxing relaxation station. Dan, it has been an honor to serve as your vice president. And on behalf of the leadership, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for everything you have done, and thank you for being you. So if you could stand up, Dan, so we can all give you a round of applause.
Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Jenny. Now, I know we've all turned around and seen each other. It is time for our weekly moment of greeting. People here in the room, wave to each other, hug, shake hands, and people here on Zoom, we can wave to them, they can wave to us. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking time to be together. You are all looking good. I think everybody tried to come in person today except for my family who are on Zoom. Half of them are in Kentucky, so they're excused. But it's really great to have so many people together today. I want to call us to worship with the same words I used, I don't know, last year or the year before, some of my favorites. by the writer Annie Dillard, which to me are all about what church is for. We are here to abet creation and to witness to it, to notice each other's beautiful face and complex nature, so that creation need not play to an empty house. Now together we light the symbol of our living faith, the flaming chalice. Here to light it and give us a reading is one of our newer members who is stepping up this year to be chair of the Green Sanctuary team. It is Liz Meyer. Thank you, Liz.
Good morning, everybody. This is a poem that Suzanne picked for me to read this morning. It's called Within the Heart of the Flower by Amy Zucker Morgenstern. Within the heart of the flower, the fountain of beauty. Within the heart of the community, a fire that warms and dances. Within the heart of each of us, a spark of the spirit of life. Holy, holy, holy.
Our opening hymn this morning is I Know This Rose Will Open. That's number 396 in your gray hymnals. We'll also show the lyrics on the screen behind me or over Zoom. And today we will sing this unaccompanied. I will lead us first in unison and then in a round together. If you brought in a flower or a branch this morning and it's not yet up here with all these beauties, please bring it forward during this hymn. Let's please rise in body or in spirit and sing together. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. Starting over here. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. One more time. I know this rose will open.
Thank you. Please remain standing and join me in the words of our covenant and in the song of aspiration. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. This is our great covenant, one with another and with our God.
Song.
Today in our story time, we will be saying goodbye to Tara. After 9 years of service to our congregation, some of you have had the chance already to say goodbye, and some of you haven't. You will get the chance. Tara can't stay for coffee hour today. She has an important engagement she has to travel for. But she is planning to come to the picnic next week, and hopefully with her family, so you'll be able to talk to her then. And if you missed that, you can always send her a note before June 30th at musicdirector@melroseuu.org. For this time in worship, we will do an official 3-part goodbye. First, Karen Gabler, on behalf of the choir, will come forward and offer some words and a gift. Then I will lead the whole congregation in ritual words of letting go and saying goodbye. Finally, the choir requested that we all sing a song to Tara, and she sing to us in reply. So, first let's have Karen come forward.
Ooh, it's good to take off that mask. All right, thank you. It's an honor to be the spokesperson for the choir, Tara. And I hope I can speak for all of us. Tara, these 9 years, whew, it's gonna start. You have brought so much beautiful song and music to all of us. Your sweet soprano voice, your musical expertise, your virtuoso cello playing. It has added so much richness and depth to our services, and we all know how much music brings to our church and how much we missed it when we didn't have it during some of the times of the pandemic. Also, to lead a choir and to accompany while you lead is a huge gift, and I know that will be hard to replace. Your smile, your laughter, and your patience shine through. As a choir director, you challenge us sometimes with some challenging pieces of music. And it sort of brought us to our growing edge, but also you would balance it with the more familiar. And that balance and that challenge made it fun to sing with you and together, and for all of you. Personally, I treasured when you brought your family, your mom, your dad, and your brother to sing with us at Christmas Eve and Easter. And that kind of bringing your musical family to our choir really enhanced our singing.
They're still coming, right?
I know it was challenging to return after the pandemic and be a new parent with your beautiful son and your husband, David. And nonetheless, you continue to lead us to reset music again personally for the choir and for the church. We are so grateful, Tara. So grateful for your dedication. And as you embark on the next chapter, we, as the MUUC choir and the congregation, wish you the very best in this next chapter. May we be the wind behind your sails. May you remember us. We will miss you. We will hold you in our hearts. Thank you so much, Tara. As a token of our appreciation, we have a gift for you, which I would like to give to you. Enjoy, enjoy.
Well, thank you, Karen, but it's not over yet, everybody. Can I invite the choir, please, to come forward and stand in your spots just along the front? And I'm going to invite everybody into some formal words of goodbye. Thank you, thank you. That works, that's all good. So, the life of a congregation is always changing. Babies are born, children grow up and create new homes. Beloved loved ones pass on. People arrive and people leave. As is true about our shared spiritual home, we become more whole with each person who comes here. Each one of us makes all of us greater, more of who we are supposed to be. In the role of music director for the past 9 years, Tara Tresner-Kirsch has been a part of our wholeness. To our congregation, she has offered gifts of music, creativity, and leadership. To our worship, she has added color, depth, and joy. Tara completes her service on June 30th, but in this last formal worship service of the year, we release Tara from her committed service with us. We say goodbye to her as a staff member, and we bless her forward as she moves on in life. Will you, the congregation, please rise in body or in spirit? I have 2 questions for all of you. After each one, if you affirm them, please answer, "We do." First, do you, the members and friends of Melrose Unitarian Universalist Church, after 9 years of service, now release Tara Tresner-Kirsch from her role as music director? We do. And now, do you offer your blessings and well wishes to Tara as she moves on in life? We do. Thank you. Tara, as you go forward this day, know that you go with the gratitude and love of this whole congregation behind you. You may be seated. Thank you for your good service. And now it's time to sing. Tara has a song for us she chose, and the choir is going to help us sing it.
Great. I chose this song in part because it is a little bit of a throwback. This was a song that the choir already knew when I arrived in 2013. That's right? Yeah. And we sang it together on Music Sunday 2017. Moreover, however, I want to thank you all for making music with me these past 9 years. Yes, if you have ever opened your mouth to sing during worship, I want to thank you for that. Really. And I am so grateful for this place to live into my own musical callings. Please join the choir and me on the chorus of this song when you catch it. And always, let's sing together. Blessed, blessed are we this day. Let's sing it together. Blessed are we this day. Beautiful. Paul, let's hit it. Life has given me the melody as it pours forth from my heart. I am blessed with the meter as it beats through my veins. As I walk along and listen, these words come to me. Oh, blessed are we this day. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh,
draw strength from the soil. Open wide your arms, reaching toward the sky. We're flooded with light. Oh, blessed are we this
Thank you, choir. Thank you, Tara. We have been blessed these 9 years. Each week, we take a few minutes out to center ourselves, to ground ourselves in our own connection with the divine, our own sense of what is holy in this world. Let's start that time by relaxing into our chairs, feeling our feet on the floor, letting our bodies settle. Let's breathe in and out together. In this meditation time together, first we'll join in our centering song, then we'll sit for a few minutes of shared silence, then we'll speak to one another of our joys and sorrows, and I will lead us in a prayer. Our worship theme for June is celebrating blessings. It's a time to notice the richness in our lives, to give thanks for all that we have been given. Our centering song for the month is called We Give Thanks, and Tara will lead us in singing.
Last week we sang this together. It is an echo song. This week I invite you to sing along with me. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Every Sunday, we share with one another the milestones of our lives, our own personal joys and sorrows. We listen to one another with compassion and openness, allowing this sharing to weave us into an ever stronger community. First, if folks on Zoom have a sorrow to share, I invite you to type it into the chat box now. If anyone else has a sorrow they would like to share, I invite you to come forward now and speak in the microphone. Jenny, do we have any? No one gave you any on paper. Okay. I'll start the sorrows. A candle, please, for Phyllis Blacklock, who is currently at Melrose Wakefield Hospital. She has some neurological issues related to her diabetes. It looks like she's going to go to a rehab hospital soon, maybe next week. Bob asked you, please, keep her in your thoughts.
This is a sorrow. I recently had some testing done and have some mild short-term memory issues, and it's a concern. It may not turn into anything worse, but it worries me.
I have a concern for my neighbor Carla, who just yesterday was diagnosed with a brain tumor, which turns out to be the size of an orange. So please keep her in your thoughts and prayers.
That was Gail with the candle for her neighbor Carla. Yeah, Carla, you said. And Corey had some testing done, and she's a little concerned. I wasn't sure if the microphone was picking it up. I'm looking in the chat. I don't see any sorrows shared by anyone in our Zoom room. Jenny, yes, thank you. And I'm going to ask everybody to pause for a moment, hold all the sorrows that are spoken and unspoken in your mind and in your heart. You can go ahead and light it. Let us remember to reach out to all the people in our lives who are hurting with love and care. May they know our commitment to them. Now I ask for people who want to share joys to go ahead and do so. People on Zoom, type them into the chat box. Anybody with a joy to share, please come forward. And if you can, just go right up to that microphone. It's not a great one. You got to get really close if you can. You could actually take it out if you want, Ethan. Make it shorter. There you go.
My joy is that school's ending.
Yay!
My joy is that I have a birthday party at a bouncy house after church today.
Excellent. Thank you, Heather.
So I have a couple of joys. One joy and a thank you is for the people who have been visiting Margaret. She very, very much appreciates the visits from the folks and being remembered by the church members. That's really a wonderful thing. And then the other joy is someday I'm going to move into co-housing.
And we are going to be so happy for you when you do.
Hi, I'm Karen. One joy is to Tara for all the music she's brought, and thank you. The other joy is, as a 70th birthday present, my son, his partner Monica, and my grandson Robbie are coming for a visit. They made their reservations in the first week of August, and I can take them to my happy place, my touchstone on Patchewasset Island on Cape Cod.
Mine's like a joy and a sorrow because this week the girls have had like some small sorrow things going on. But at the same time, we've had joys because we got to have our 8th grade dance, which they haven't had in 3 years. And looking forward to them going to high school. It's just, this is mom. This is the mom stuff, so it's tough.
Thank you, Cheryl.
So I'm Josh Shortledge. Yesterday at the Cabbage Patch in front of the middle school, Alistair MUUC and Stacy Babb and Reggie Harris and a throng of teenage singers and drummers put on the Opening Doors Festival. It was perfect weather, just enough clouds so we didn't get burned to a crisp, and the music was just fabulous. We had a great time.
It was a great time, and they mentioned us. Woohoo! It was beautiful.
I just wanted to celebrate the Blacklocks for those of you who haven't been around for a while. They've been around forever. Bob Blacklock was president of the board from 1982 to 84. Phyllis was president from 1986 to 88, and they've both done amazing things for this church. So, just so you know.
Candle of joy for my son Tembi and more time to spend with him undivided. And with thanks for everybody who's been in meetings with him, kind of swarming around in the background. And I'm grateful to not be doing that again for a while. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tara. And I got one last joy from someone. Oh, we've got two from our Zoom audience. From the Goss family. A joy. Hannah will be graduating from kindergarten next week. We are so proud of her bravery and curiosity and for everything she has learned this year. And from Jean Tay, candle of thankfulness that COVID seems to be alleviating and that my daughter is getting better. Yesterday, she went outside for the first time in 10 days. The virus can take quite a toll on a young, healthy person. All right, let's hold all of these joys in our hearts and in our minds. Let's make space even for the joys that are unspoken today, for all the many blessings in our lives. We light one more candle as a beacon of gratitude for the many blessings that we have. Thank you, Jenny. Would you please join me in the spirit of prayer? I offer these words written by my colleague, the Reverend Claire Feingold Thorin. Let us give thanks for a bouquet of people. We give thanks for children. Like tulips and iris, they multiply around us, making the world ever more filled with color, beauty, and new life. May we bless them as they replant themselves even further from us, knowing that they need their own space to grow into. We give thanks for generous friends, as constant in bloom as echinacea, and whose gifts lift up our body and spirit. We give thanks for feisty friends, as indomitable as geraniums, and for continuous friends who, like bittersweet and ivy, hold on and they never let go and never can be got rid of. For crotchety friends, as prickly as rose bushes, their beauty is a secret that is only discovered through careful gardening. For surprising friends who at first glance seem dour and then blossom into joy as quickly as forsythia. For funny friends, silly as snapdragons, and serious friends, complex as chrysanthemums. For comfortable friends, their gentle presence as soothing as the sweet smell of lilacs. For stormy weather friends who stand by us in hard times, like lily of the valley that cannot be deterred by shade or shadow. For old friends nodding like sunflowers in the evening time. And young friends coming on fast as flocks. For friends as unpretentious as dogwood, as persistent as pachysandra, as steadfast as azalea. And who, like snowdrops, can be counted on to see you through the winter and remind you that spring always comes. For loving friends who wind around us like wisteria and embrace us despite our blights, wilts, and witherings. And finally, for forget-me-not friends, gone but never forgotten. Their beauty lives on in our memories and our hearts. For this bouquet of people who brighten our lives, each in their own way, we give thanks. Amen. Now is the time for our offertory. Our church is a self-supporting organization funded by your generous annual pledge. You can also contribute as you like to our weekly collection plate, which we split every month with a deserving cause. Folks on Zoom can contribute using the orange button in the top right-hand corner of our homepage at melroseuu.org. For June, which is Pride Month, our giving partner is NAGLY, the North Shore Alliance of GLBTQ youth. NAGLY provides a safe space where youth of all sexual orientations and gender identities are welcome and celebrated. Half our collection this month will go to NAGLY.
For our offertory music this morning, the choir will be singing a contemporary version of Beethoven's Ode to Joy from his Ninth Symphony. Many of you may recognize it as the traditional hymn, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, which we will all get to sing together at the end of this service. Thank you, choir, for all your music, your hard work, your sense of humor, and your sense of fun these past 9 years, and thank you for learning this one last project song with me. This is Joyful, Joyful, a la Sister Act 2, starring the indomitable Lauryn Hill. Solo will be by Jenny Wengrovius.
Joyful, joyful, Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee. Hail thee as the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light, fill us with the light, oh, fill us with the light of day. Before thee, hail thee as the Son of
Thank you so much, choir. That was really very joyful. Filled my heart. Thank you so much. I have just a brief homily today, and then we will move forward into our flower communion. We Unitarian Universalists don't have any scripture per se, no collection of stories that we consider holy or instructive beyond others. But if we did, it would certainly include the story of Norbert Chopek and the flower communion, because it is beautiful, it is true, and it is ours. So it is worth revisiting every year, at least to me. Born in 1870, Chopek was a tireless religious innovator. Like so many of us, he was raised Catholic, but he left the faith as a young adult, around the age of 18. First, Chopek became a Baptist, and he planted several Baptist churches across Eastern Europe. But just before World War I, he was forced to flee. Chopek settled here in the US, in New Jersey, actually, where he eventually fell out with the Baptists and quite by accident discovered Unitarianism. This was in the 1920s. Then he and his family returned to the newly independent Czechoslovakia, where he founded a Unitarian church in Prague, and it grew, and it became the largest Unitarian church in the whole world. At one point, it had over 3,200 members. But one day, as the story goes, a church member criticized Chopek's preaching, came to him and said it was overly intellectual and dry. Well, Chopek could have reacted to this. He could have got defensive or argumentative. Instead, he kept breathing. He took it in, and then he went for a walk. It was springtime, and all around him, the flowers were in bloom. It occurred to Chopek that if he were to pick a bunch of them and bring them to church, the bouquet would mirror his congregation. It was a broad collection of unique individuals who, in coming together in the same vase, could then be transformed into something bigger and even more beautiful, more important, a community. Thus, the flower communion ceremony was born. It is said that after Chopek was arrested by the Gestapo in 1942 and sent to Dachau, he celebrated the flower communion with the prisoners there, with grass and with sticks, whatever they could find, as a testament to the beauty that was larger than themselves, to a love that would outlive them. Ever since that day, Unitarians and UUs around the world have celebrated the flower ceremony, just as we do today with Chopek in our hearts. In the last week or so, I have been reflecting on Chopek's story, and specifically on that moment when someone told Chopek to work on his sermons. It could easily have gone the other way, right? He could have argued, he could have fought back, he could have had a meltdown, he could have left the ministry even. People do, but he didn't. When things got hard, when difficult conversations happened, Chopek stayed with it. He took a deep breath, calmed himself down, and engaged. And then eventually the magic happened. Inspiration came, and a beautiful ritual was born out of that conflict. I am sure that you have heard it said that the Chinese word for crisis is danger plus opportunity. JFK said that twice, and so did Al Gore, and probably hundreds or thousands of speakers since then. I looked it up yesterday, and some linguists now dispute that idea. Instead, they say the Chinese word for crisis is actually danger plus change. But you get the idea. Crisis is a moment that contains both danger and potential for change. You get to choose the path of danger or the path of destruction, or not the path of danger and destruction, or the path of engagement and change. And because Chopek chose the latter, we have the flower communion ceremony today. I've been thinking about this as I reflect on this church year that we have all just survived and endured. The second full year of a global pandemic. It has been a hard year, another hard year in a row. There were so many tough moments this year, crisis points, times when people here in this church were struggling with difficult problems or strong emotions. and things could have gone south. But they didn't. Because time after time, folks here in this church chose to stick it out, to stay in the room, keep breathing, keep listening. They chose to engage and to change, and for that, I am so grateful. Here's just one example. As Jenny said earlier, a whole year ago, President Dan Griscom and I realized that we needed to go hybrid to install cameras in the sanctuary, and we could have gone the easy route. A lot of other churches were live streaming or recording their services as a whole and playing them on Sunday mornings, but we really wanted something interactive, something that people in Zoom could partake in and write to us back, and we could react to in real time so that we would feel connected across both audiences. But we didn't know how to do that, and Dan figured it out. Instead of settling for the easy option, Dan dug in. He spent all of last summer figuring it out, and when we reopened in September, we had an amazing hybrid system all ready to go. But then another problem happened. According to the UUA guidelines at that time, last fall, you may not even remember now because of, it wasn't safe for in-person attendees to sing together or to sit near each other. So folks had to sign up in advance for worship to sit in one of our 11 pods that we had marked off here in the sanctuary. And then when you got here, if you signed up and you came, you had to watch videos of the choir singing, but you couldn't sing along. It was disappointing, to say the least. I mean, at that time, we'd already been apart, worshiping on Zoom only for over a year, and we wanted so much to be together. And this new thing, it didn't really feel like being together. It felt sad. So Dan, to the rescue again, along with the board and the safety team, we decided to use a cash gift to buy these big air filtration machines and some KN95 masks. And with those things in place, the safety team, God bless them, decided we could add more seating and eventually get rid of those pods altogether. And then we went back to singing together, and that made all the difference in the world. Again, a crisis situation that could have broke us apart, but instead of melting down, we decided to ride it out, to keep breathing until a solution came our way, and thank God it did. You could say something similar about our RE program this year. It has been really hard. In the fall, as with worship, you had to sign in to bring your kids to RE, and that didn't work very well for our families. Then in January, we all went to Zoom only for 6 weeks, and that really complicated things. Our program struggled. Some parents came to me with questions or concerns, and I connected them to the RE committee. And then around the annual meeting time, more people became concerned that we were renting too many rooms to the Montessori school. Where did that leave our RE program? It was another moment, a crisis moment maybe, a time when things could have dissolved into conflict. But they didn't. People kept calm, and with patience and care, they brought their feelings to the board. Everyone listened and engaged. We had difficult conversations, and we kept breathing. Thanks to Jenny's leadership, we have a new agreement in the works with the Montessori school that looks like it's going to be a win-win solution for everybody. And we have several new volunteers on the RE committee who are bringing fresh energy and vision, and you will see that today in the RE forum, which happens after worship in the parlor and also on Zoom tomorrow night. Crisis transformed again, solutions in process right now. Another brief, tiny example. A month ago, I wasn't sure what we would do about flower communion. In the past, I had bought bouquets of cut flowers on Sunday morning just to be sure that we had enough. But this past April, I preached about planting native and how critical it is for us to change over our lawns and gardens so they can be nutritious homes for insects and birds. So it didn't make sense to me to go out and buy flowers and fill the sanctuary and praise them as sacred if they were invasive or foreign. So I put out a call for help to our Green Sanctuary team, and I waited. And then Linda Ireland got my message. Linda, who became a church member just a month ago, said, "Suzanne, my yard is full of native flowers. Please come and take all that you like." And so I did, and Linda taught me all about the flowers. The tall purple one is Baptista australis, or false indigo. The tall pink one is Penstemon digitalis, or foxglove beard tongue. Both of those are native to the Northeast. And the greens are sweet fern and common lady fern. Aren't they beautiful? And the pollinators love them. Linda's yard is full of bees. Again, another concrete example. I had a problem, I didn't know how to solve it, I put it out there in the community, and I waited. And just in the nick of time, this amazing solution unfolded. So for me today, this bouquet represents so many things. First, one, the beauty of nature. I mean, it's all right there. Second, diversity in community. It is the differences that make this so stunning. Third, faith. The belief that in our community, with patience and care, solutions eventually emerge. We become, like the bouquet, far more than the sum of our parts, something altogether new and stronger and more whole. So thank you all for sticking with us this year, for staying here and staying part of the community, even through difficult conversations until solutions emerged. It's not been simple or straightforward, but it has been, I believe, transformative and just so beautiful to be part of. So, to complete this year of ministry together, I invite us into the flower communion when we will bless each other with the power of this community. So, in just a moment, I'm going to invite the ushers to help us just create a line of people up the middle, one line, but don't get up yet because I have a little bit of explanation first. All right. When the first person gets to the front, I will hand them a flower and offer them a blessing, something like, "Happy summer," or "I wish you peace and joy," or "I hope you get to spend some relaxed time with your family this summer." Anything that comes to your heart. And then offer them a flower. This will be your turn next. When you come forward, someone will offer you a flower and a blessing. And you receive, and then you choose another flower and give one to the person behind you. Does that make sense? Is it too complicated? You receive a blessing and a flower, and then you give a blessing and a flower. Can we do that this morning? Can we do that with one another? Okay, Tara, you're first. You come on up. I will give you a flower. Oh, maybe two, because we have so many today. I thought we wouldn't have enough. Maybe we'll have an usher stationed here helping get out one flower at a time. Tara, I wish for you beautiful, relaxed moments with Tenby in the garden. Have a beautiful summer. Okay, let's line up. Tara's got to give somebody a flower. Get my mask. Oh, and we're going to hear some beautiful music from Tara while we do this. There'll be a song. invite you to gaze upon the flower that is now in your hands, the fragile beauty that is so unique. We too are like these flowers. We are fragile yet turning resolutely toward the light. I offer you these final words adapted from Norbert Čapek. In the name of love, we celebrate the friendships found here. May we be held in the long tradition of this faith and held in the care of this unique, ever-evolving community. May we gather strength from these good people, knowing that the spirit of love and life unites us as we endeavor for a more peaceful, more grace-filled world. Amen. And now, as we look forward to the blessings of a beautiful summer and our reunion with one another yet again in the fall, let us close our worship today with a powerful prayer of thanksgiving. Of course, it's joyful, joyful, we adore thee. Paul is going to help us out on the organ. We'll give him a minute for that long journey up the stairs. Thank you, Paul. It's number 29 in your gray hymnal, and would the choir please come up? Thank you. Please join me in the chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you. You may be seated. Our service has ended. Friends on Zoom can stay in the room to chat. Folks here, please enjoy a brief postlude from Tara and then gather out on the lawn for coffee hour outside. I want to remind you about adding your handprint to the chair for Dan, and also if you would please join us at noon in the parlor for the RE Reset conversation. Thank you so much, everyone, for worshiping with us today.